What's going on, everyone? It's Eric from Full Mount MMA. Today I'm joined by the third-ranked heavyweight in the world, Curtis Razor Blaydes. Curtis, how you doing?
I'm doing good, bro.
It's good to talk to you. So first and foremost, I got to ask, you were just seeing Sumo Wrestling with Anthony Rumble Johnson. How did that all go down? How did that come to be?
Well, my management group, they reached out to me with the opportunity. Initially, I thought I would just be going against Rumble Johnson, but then I later found out there was also going to be some actual sumo wrestling, like actual professionals, and I was initially a little hesitant, but then I thought about it. It's just grappling, and it was a chance to visit Miami. I'm not gonna turn that down, especially during the winter. I'm out here in Colorado. It's freezing.
Oh, yeah, of course. And so it looked like it was a lot of fun. How would you rate Rumble's performance? I know you beat him best 2 out of 3. You think he's maybe going to use some of what he learned when he comes back?
Well, I don't know if there's anything that you can actually bring out of that, but it was a really fun experience. Getting to hang out with him, getting to compete against him. Even though it wasn't like MMA, we were still competing. We still both wanted to win. And yeah, it's always good to get the win. That was my only win, though. I didn't beat the actual sumo wrestlers. He won like a period against the smaller one, Takashi. Mm-hmm. He won one of those matches. I went 0-2 against both of them. So he actually did better against them than I did.
Oh, there's no shame in that, but we can move on to MMA now. So your last fight was an unbelievable striking performance against one of the best strikers in heavyweight history, in Junior Dos Santos. How was that? How has your striking been coming along? I mean, it's looked absolutely unbelievable in your past few fights. How's that going over there at Elevation?
It's been growing ever since I moved out here. I started working with my striking coach, Benny Lopez, and ever since day one, the very first fight I had with him against Cody East, the improvements I've made have been amazing. Each increment, each camp, everything is a little bit better, and I give all the credit to Vinny. He's put a lot of hours into me, a lot of energy, and it's paying off. But I just want to remind you and everyone else that if I can take you down, I'd still rather do that.
Well, of course, yeah. Well, you just keep winning in the upper echelon of the heavyweights, but the division's at kind of a stalemate right now between DC and Stipe. What do you think's going on there? Do you think they're going to run the trilogy, and how much does that annoy you, sort of, that they're holding up the division?
I do think they're going to eventually work it out and get the contract signed. How soon? I don't know. The optimist in me wants it to be May, but the pessimist in me thinks it'll be more likely August. So
okay.
It doesn't really annoy me as much as it did a few weeks ago, because I'm focusing on just getting better. If they're going to give me all this time to keep on growing, then that's what I'll do.
Oh, that's a great outlook to have. Obviously, when you fought Junior Dos Santos, you won. Daniel Cormier was the guy that came into the ring and interviewed you. Is there any animosity there? You were really nice to him during the interview, but was there any part of you that wanted to say, kind of screw you for holding up what I'm fighting for right now?
Well, I think it's this time, because initially when DC had the belt, he was doing exactly what Stipe is doing. So, but right now, it's not as much DC's fault as it is Stipe, because the ball's in his court. He gets to pick who he wants and when he wants, apparently. And I guess he's injured, but then he wants to call out Tyson Fury, so I'm a little confused. There's no consistency there. So I'm a lot more annoyed with Stipe. I'm actually losing a little bit of respect for him with each passing week, because it's not that I'm demanding to to fight him. I know there's a line. My issue is that the line's not moving. You know, and that's on Stipe. The stagnation that we're witnessing right now with the heavyweight division, that falls squarely on his shoulders. And like I said, I'm losing a little bit every week. I lose a little bit of respect for him.
Yeah, I get that. But, you said the other option, you said you would be fine with waiting for a title shot when you were on Ariel Helwani's show last month, or you'd be open to fighting the winner of Ngannou versus Rozenstruik.
Yeah.
Who do you like in that matchup, though? Who do you think is going to take the win there?
I mean, if I'm a betting man, I'm going to go with Ngannou because they're both strikers, and who's the more powerful striker? Ngannou. Jairzinho, it looks like he moves. He takes angles and whatnot, but it's nothing really special about his footwork. He's not overly athletic, overly explosive. I think if you're going to be just a striker going against a guy like Ngannou, you'll have to bring a bit of that into the equation. I don't think he brings that to the equation, so I'm picking him. But the optimist in me would love it if he won, but pessimist, what's more likely? Ngannou.
Yeah. Well, obviously, if Rozenstruik does win, I mean, you and Rozenstruik would be the obvious number one contender fight. But if Ngannou wins, since you've fought before and he has beaten you twice before, do you think it's going to be kind of hard to sell the UFC on a third fight with you guys, even though that would make a whole lot of sense for the number one contender fight, just where you guys are now?
I don't know if they would be interested in that, like, right now. I think looking from their perspective, they would probably prefer if one of us had the belt and we were fighting over that. That would just be easier for them to sell, And I get that. Like I said, I have no problem that there's a line and I'm not in front. My problem is that the line's not moving.
Yeah, of course. And I wanted to ask you a little bit, you're training partners with Corey Sandhagen. He's sort of in a similar position to you, just at bantamweight. What was your reaction to the Aldo Cejudo fight getting announced? I know we also have Adesanya Romero. That's another title fight coming off a loss like that. Does that annoy you, seeing all these fighters coming off losses get these title shots?
Well, I get the Romero one because he had a war with Paulo, and Paulo's injured, and I can't think of anyone who's like super deserving. Like me, I can't find a Curtis Blaydes in the middleweight division. So he goes to and that's a fight I'm down to watch. So I'm not mad at that one. But the Jose one, that's a head scratcher. I mean, it didn't even have to be Corey. Again, there's a line. He may not be at the top, but to toss Jose in there, you're throwing up people that deserve to be next. It could have been Jan. It could have been Aljo. It could have been Corey. But any one of those guys would have been a better option if you want to validate the rankings, because Jose lost. I don't understand. That's a head scratcher, like I said.
Is there anything else in the recent, anything recently that's changed? Maybe another heavyweight that you're looking to fight on the rise, or are you really just going to wait for the title shot or Ngannou and Rozenstruik winner?
Yeah, I mean, I would have entertained Derek Lewis, but apparently he's going to have heart surgery, I guess, which I don't know if that's true or not, but I guess that takes him off the board.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Finally, you told me in the beginning here that your roommate's got a fight coming up. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I'm really excited for him. He's going to be on the featured prelim bout, the prelims, against Mark Masden. The dude's he's an older Olympic wrestler. Greco style wrestler. But I think Austin just younger, more explosive, more athletic. I think he's a better striker. We watch his opponent's film. He doesn't really. I don't think he's that scary on the feet at all. I think he's pretty one-dimensional, and I think Austin knows how to avoid the clinch and get to his offense. And if he needs to, he knows he can take him to the ground also and do whatever he wants to do to him on the ground. So I'm very confident, and he is also.
Well, I wish him the best of luck with that. And finally, to wrap things up, probably the biggest lightweight fight we've seen in a number of years. We got Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Tony Ferguson. I got to know, as a fighter, who do you think takes that fight?
I'm going with Khabib. I know Tony can win with the thirst or the elbow on the bottom or just on the feet. Like he's amazing. I would not be shocked if he won, but I would just prefer if it was Khabib. And I think he has a easier, like he can have an off night and still win. All he has to do is wrestle fuck him. Tony has to do a lot more in order to win. And I think he has the margin of error just razor thin for him.
Yeah, that's a good point. Those are all the questions I got for you today. Curtis, anything you want to say before we wrap this up?
If you're looking to find me on Instagram or Twitter, you can find me at RazorBlades265. And I want to give a shout out to my management group, Boundary Sports Management. Appreciate all the opportunities they've been giving me as of late, and just looking forward to continue working with them.
Well, there you guys go. If you guys like this content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA. Also link up with Curtis on Twitter, Instagram. That'll all be linked in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Curtis, thanks again for being here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate your time.